Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick. Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick. Grab a mug of care and join us for some Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick.
Yes, please.
Well, Ruth, it's so great to have you back again.
Thank you for having me. I love being here.
Hi, bro.
Hi. Thank you for this invite.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's kind of like, duh. And for our listeners, we are so lucky to be having a care chat today with Ruth Camillia. She. And, we are so grateful to have you here, Ruth. This is not our first care chatito. And that says a lot, right? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for being part of that care network for me, both of you, Nick and TM. So grateful.
Yeah, and thank you for all that magic you brought us in the last episode, especially me, because we did an Akashic record reading for me.
We did.
And that's been my first and only so far.
Oh, yeah. My goodness, what an honor.
You popped my Akashic cherry.
Wow. That feels like a big deal. Thank you.
Y'all heard it here.
Thank you for the consent on that.
For sure. Wow. I always appreciate the care that you share with the world, Ruth. And this season, we are just sitting down with folks and really asking the question, how are you filling your mug of care these days?
Oh, thank you for that sweet question. I really liked having a moment to pause and think on that this morning, just knowing I was going to be here with the two of you. And I think what came up for me was also just acknowledging that allowing in care from others has been part of my care for myself. Just, being raised in a home with overly generous parents, I think I'm still unlearning a lot of the impulses to people please and giving until I'm empty. So caring for myself also means setting time aside for my rituals and nourishment, which lately it's baths in the winter time. I really appreciate taking a nice salt bath. It allows me to meditate on a deeper level because I can kind of just let my body float. I notice I notice with meditation sometimes my body aches will form as distractions, and so that surrender that the bathtub offers has been really, really sweet and lovely. Helps me slow down, and my kitties are nearby generally. They're curious about the water, not bold enough to jump in, but yeah, just having the kitties near me. It sounds simple, but they're definitely part of what fills my mug and grounds me.
So interesting. I have 2 clients recently who have been telling me they've been taking baths to meditate and just relax. So yeah, it's something in the air this season.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's enjoying soup. That's kind of nourishment, but except your body is the soup. So yeah, and you two also both kind of had me thinking about the connection between creativity and care. And so I was just really appreciating that language and connection, because it helped me just kind of reflect on how lovely it's been to be in a writing practice and doing a lot of exploration and expression through writing. I'm getting ready to take a little love poem writing class tomorrow.
Yes.
And I just wrote a love poem for my mom for her birthday. So yeah, writing poetry and just keeping track of experiences and stories feel really like important in my care practice.
If I may, I want to just kind of fill in some important information here for our listeners. Ruth is a Reiki master, and if you've ever had the privilege of receiving Reiki, after Reiki, you receive these beautifully intentionally written Reiki reflections, and oy vey, it like takes it to the next level. So thank you for sharing your writing. It's such a potent medicine, and woo.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for saying that. Yeah, it comes from love for sure. And words are spells too. So I don't take it lightly. There's a lot of thought that goes into how I try to express that and share that.
Are the Reiki reflections something you've written, or is it something that you read from someone else?
Yeah, it's something I've written. So I find that during a Reiki session, I'll receive, messages, impressions, sensations, and I do my best to kind of take notes along the way of anything that comes up. And then after the session, I gather my thoughts, oftentimes in writing. Sometimes it's through voice notes as well. But the writing is always part of it because at very least it's, even just like the chicken scratches that I have on a piece of paper while I'm moving the energy.
And so do you read it to the person at the end or you send it to them after?
So I, because the majority of my sessions are asynchronous or completely remote, it'll be like either in an email, written out in an email, or sent in a voice note after the session.
Yeah, and then it's super juicy because then if you're like nerd out like me, you print the Reiki reflections and you put the Reiki reflections in the journal, and then you can keep going back to it. Because what I've noticed in session with Ruth, and if y'all haven't had an opportunity to receive Reiki from Ruth, a deep, deep invite. The truth is that like those reflections they like don't necessarily show up like immediately after sesh. It might find that like down the line, the next week or within the month, like ping, oh my Dios, this is what this came up in the Reiki reflection. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for saying that, bro. That's, I mean, I experienced that too on my side of things, and so often I find that when I set that intention to share reflections with the person I'm sharing the Reiki with, it's also for me. I receive messages and support through that as well, so it's very reciprocal, and it's nice for me to also kind of look back to previous sessions and see what showed up and how it's still relevant or relevant in a new way.
I love that.
Thanks.
Do you write anything else besides poetry?
Yeah, I've been doing a little I guess musing. I'm not sure what to call it because it is sort of, short stories in a way, but it's often just like thoughts, feelings that come up from experiences that I've had or experiences that I've witnessed. One thing that I've been working on recently actually was revisiting the house that I grew up in, which at the time was, 100 years old and pretty enchanted, and it still offers medicine to me even though I haven't lived there since I was 17. So, just finding themes or experiences that left these impressions and that I want to try to share in some way are usually what inspire me.
That's incredible. And I think it's important in an archiving way as well, right? Archiving memories,
Thanks.
right?
Yeah.
And we like to play connect the dots here, meaning I think, Ruth, you brought up a medicine and a care shot that I don't know that we've ever played with, and that's writing. So I'm wondering, like, I'd like to drop in how writing is showing up in my mug of care right now, and then How does that work, y'all? How does that sound?
I love that. Please tell us about the writing in your mug of care, TM.
So, first of all, I love being able to write for our weekly bulletin, and that's been really beautiful. And I am a person who writes on the daily, and it could be a write, it could be a sketch, it could be a combination of both. And lately, because I am enrolled in Leah Garza's Akashic Record mentorship and living systems courses, writing has been something where I've been doing a lot of introspective writing. So I'll have time after class where I'm just sitting and thinking about things and just have this free flow. I also have been staying mindfully informed about what's happening in our world. And sometimes I feel that it's good to just go and be in a journal with it and just let whatever needs to come out there come out. And a lot of that for me has been like maybe sketches or just like a few words. And so, yeah, it's been, I love it. Writing is something I access every single day. And right now that's how it's showing up in my mug of care.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I definitely notice. I love I don't think I've ever even had an opportunity to throw flowers your way on your writing, TM, but I'm glad you shared that because it actually is landing. It's reminding me. There have been a number of times where I've read something you've written and I just hear your voice, and I love the way your words come through as like a conversation, and your words bring forth your own essence and your presence. So even if you're not physically there, your words are felt and received as if you were right there.
Thank you. That is so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's good medicine. Thank you.
Nick.
Are you much of a writer, Nick? Yeah, I'm like, what do you like to write? Or
Well, I wouldn't say that writing is in my mug of care, but I would say that it's something that I've been told that I'm good at. It's not really something I particularly enjoy doing, especially when it comes to like when I was in school writing research papers and stuff like that. I was just like, ugh, because I'm such an internal person. I'm not like an external talker, processor, extrovert person. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, like like I can say it all in 1 or 2 sentences, and you want me to write 5 pages on that.
Which I think what you're saying is so potent. That's your medicine of writing, because we co-write together, and Nick has the medicine of being able to get to the point.
Yeah.
And that's super important.
I'm like an arrow. I mean, even when I'm talking, sometimes people are like, say more about that. I'm like, well, what do you want to know? I just said it all.
That part.
But every once in a while,
more.
the writing muse will hit me. You know, whether it's spell or poetry or a song or a story idea or something like that, but it's not something I've really cultivated. You know, like my husband, he's a writer. Like he enjoys sitting and writing and rewriting and writing, you know, for an hour. Like I remember for a while he would sit and he would write a Facebook post for like 30 minutes and be like 10 or 12 sentences, and then at the end he just delete it all. And I'm just like, I just want to write it once and be done. I don't want to have to rework the sentence over and over again, because I do that more in my head than on the page. But, you know, I also see the benefit of it. So, but yeah, I mean, like Tanya Mark said, I guess, you know, I'm also contributing to writing in our bulletin every week. And so that's a way that, you know, I just drop into that. But it's not something that I turn to, that I enjoy doing or think to do. I don't think, oh, I want to write this out. But I definitely see the benefits of it.
You know what this reminds me of, y'all? It's like the invite of how we are currently in Aquarius season. So it's like, get weird, do something different, right? Venus just moved into Pisces. So it's also like, you know, kind of this invite of like exploring, getting a little bit more explorative with our care. And given the temperature of where things are in our world, I can see how, you know, writing, listen, there's no writing monitor. No one's going to be up anywhere in some kind of location saying like, wah, you know, like, And like, I think as a tool and as an ingredient for a mug of care, there's some invite there because it can look like all kinds of stuff. There's not one way that it needs to look. So,
well, and I want to tie in something that is in my mug of care, which I've been talking about for over a year, which is art. And just a couple months ago, I was poking around on YouTube, watching some people make videos, and I noticed people were doing this kind of writing, doodling thing, but it wasn't automatic writing, but it's like writing to look like handwriting, but it's not actually any words or letters. And there's actually a name for it that I learned. And I was like, oh, there's like a whole thing around this. And it's called asemic, ASEMIC, I think is what it's called. And it's a way that artists do writing that's not writing, but looks like writing. And what I like about that is you can put it in a piece of art and then people might just see what they want to see. It's kind of like abstract writing, but art and writing together.
That's special. That's very magic-y.
I haven't tried it yet, but a lot of what they would do is they would hold the pen or the pencil, but they would hold it from like farthest away from the writing tip, and then just have kind of loose, handwriting scribbling, but make it kind of look like letter shapes, but not really any particular letter or word or anything like that. So
love it.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. That's something I definitely would try to play with. Seems fun.
And I love that you're naming creativity, right? Ruth brought that in, just a bit ago too, as part of another ingredient, right? In care, and how important getting creative. Getting creative is one of the strongest responses we can have right now. So, woohoo.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. And I think in particular, without the need for perception or perfection, right? Because that's something that I'm also still deconstructing for myself. I've always loved music and been very inspired by it, but not inclined or gifted in those skills. But I've lately just been enjoying singing along to songs, even if I don't sing it well. Just to express and feel free. It
comes
feels
from
good.
the heart. What's in the heart, what's on the heart, what wants to come out and move through and be expressed and be released and transformed.
Absolutely.
What another beautiful ingredient of care, singing, right? And using our voice and, rocking out. I let it rip every day, y'all. Doesn't matter. Like,
and you do it well.
Thank you. And also lately, my evening meditation, what I've done is combined jamming, playing music with singing. And like, it doesn't matter what genre or whatever. I go to the records and say, where should we go? And then I dedicate it like, old school radio. I dedicate it to the collective and I just let it rip and let it go.
Oh, you said records and I was thinking like actual records, but you meant the Akashic records.
Vinyls.
Or maybe the Akashic vinyl records.
Yes,
well,
honestly.
I
love those living next to each other. It feels very fitting, actually.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love hearing how our mugs of care are being filled. And I love the fact that we've been able to find each other and connect. And Ruth, thank you so much for the medicine and that you share here with the collective. Like, woo, yowzy. We are so lucky, truly.
Yeah.
It's mutual. Mirror, mirror.
Ruth, do you want to share how folks can find you if they want to connect more with your Reiki work?
Sure. Yes. Best way to find me right now is probably Instagram. And my Instagram handle is just at Ruth, RUTH __CAMI
Great. Well, we'll have the link in the show notes so people can also find it there.
And also, y'all, in addition to Reiki, don't you also offer Akashic readings?
I do collaborative readings. I am actually getting ready to offer a little intro to the Akashic Records tomorrow and have been invited to pop up and offer some Akashic readings at a queer market this coming weekend. So, yes, I'm happy to be back in that space and it always feels like a coming home when I get to work with the Akashic records, even if it's not like a daily thing. So very much looking forward to more of that too.
Yeah, so for those of you listening, if you want to get a taste of that, go back and listen to the episode with Ruth on the Akashic record readings and hear what we did together. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes too.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all do yourself a favor and find Ruth Camilla on Instagram because y'all, she's magic. They are magic. Thanks, Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Let's all continue to take care of ourselves and each other.
Yes.
Care Chats with Tanya, Mark, and Nick.